Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Purple Penny live video where we cover news, what's been going on in the coin world and what's been going on here in the shop. So the last week the buying has been quite good. Hello Brendan, welcome. The buying has been quite good, not really anything too exciting. We'll just cover off on the interesting thing that we bought yesterday a bit later. We'll just talk through some blanks, some decimal blanks that we bought. The touring car stuff was obviously released last Thursday. Again, they are not due to ship until mid to late November. I think we pretty much sold out of our allocation. We might have a few left for in the shop in November, but that's about it. G'day Andrew, how you going? What else has been going on? Our business activity statement's due this weekend, so Catherine and I will be doing bookkeeping all weekend. That's always a blast. But the business has been steady. It's good to see all of our regulars come in here, and it's always good to have a talk to them. It's been very quiet today. We've only had one person in today, which means that I've been able to get some stuff listed up on the website, and Catherine's been filling up the cabinets. So anyway, so this week is next week is a big week. The Mint has got a whole raft of releases due for next Thursday. Just incidentally, the baby 2021 baby coin sets, the Mint sets and the proof sets, were released last week. They were available for pre-order last week. Again, they will not ship until mid to late November. If you haven't seen them, they have some very cute reverse designs where they've reimagined the reverses of the dollar, the 20 cent and the 5 cent, and replaced the mob of roos and the platypus and the echidna with representations of children's toys, and it's quite cute. I think the Royal Australian Mint designers have done a really good job with that, and that's available in the proof and the Mint set. The pricing on those I think is $40 and $120, but don't take my word for that. Those are both available for pre-order at our website if you want those baby proof sets. No need to rush with those because of course they will be available for most of next year. Anyway, so next Thursday, which is the 29th, we've got these releases due. So we've got the firefighter coins, which we discussed a couple of weeks ago. We've got the roll, 7,500 rolls, $99.95. Now the rolls will not ship until mid to late November, so even though you can order them, they will not ship until mid to late November. The C-Mint Mark folder is of course being released, and that's in a slightly different format to the previous C-Mint Mark folders. From what I understand, it's not a three-fold folder anymore. It's something different. I'm not exactly sure what, but it is going to be something different. And they're releasing, g'day Greg, how you going? And they're also releasing a circulating coin in a credit card sized holder as well, which I guess is pushing in on Downey's product where they release all the coloured coins on credit card sized holders. The C-Mint Mark is $15. The circulating coin on the card is $10. So we have our allocations for those. We don't actually have the physical items yet, but we know what our allocations are. So there should be some available for purchase on our website at midnight next Thursday. Technical issues allowing, daylight saving times allowing, and so on and so forth. The 2021 Mint sets and proof sets are also due for release next Thursday. Again, this is a pre-order type thing. They're not actually being shipped till mid to late November. All the designs in the proof and Mint sets are standard apart from the $2, and the $2 is the coloured Aboriginal flag coin that we have been waiting for since those pictures were leaked via social media several months ago. The pricing has gone up a little bit on those sets. I think the mint set's gone up $2.50 and the proof set's gone up $10. That must be to account for the coloured coins. I think this is the first coloured proof $2 coin. I think. I don't know. Perhaps someone could correct me. But I think it's certainly the first one in a standard proof or mint set. So they are likely to be very popular, I would have thought. But again, you don't need to rush to get them because they are the year sets and they should be available during the year. I would suggest that the initial production run by the mint will sell out rather quickly, but of course they'll make more during the year. Now, I don't know if the Aboriginal coin is being released into circulation. I've got no idea. But at the moment, the easiest way and quickest way to get it is going to be to buy a mint set or a proof set. So there are the releases next Thursday. Again, available on our website at midnight, technical issues allowing. We've spent a bit of time on our website in the last 2 weeks trying to tweak it and allow for a higher load because you folk out there have destroyed it the last few releases. So hopefully this time it'll go a bit better. G'day Andy. Yes, I'm well. I hope you're well too, mate. G'day Brett. How you going? So that's it for new releases. Certainly going to be a busy time next Thursday for poor Catherine. She is stuck with doing most of the shipping here and it's hard work for her. So we'll just jump back to here. Now, interesting story. So a couple of weeks ago, Catherine got a phone call from someone in New South Wales, and he used to work for a company that decommissioned industrial machines, and it just so happened that they decommissioned some machines from the Royal Australian Mint. Now, we're not exactly sure when that was, but I suspect in the mid-80s. And anyway, as they were decommissioning the machines... G'day, Rob. Yep, thanks for dropping in from Western Australia. All is good here, thank you. We're doing well here. These machines were decommissioned and recycled, and as they were decommissioned, they found that there were blanks in the machine. Okay, so we've got a bag full of blanks here, about 40 of them, 40 or 50 of them. 50-cent pieces, 50-cent blanks, 20-cent blanks, dollar blanks. G'day Paul from Western Australia. Yeah, that's right, Leonie, there is a lot coming out. There's one solitary 2-cent blank and about 15 or 20 1-cent blanks. So interestingly, no 2-cent blanks. So what does that tell us with the dollar and no 2-cent blanks? It suggests that the machine was probably pulled apart sometime between 1984 and 1988, I would have thought. G'day Peter, how you going? How you going, Peter? It's good to see you, mate. Now, I'll just jump to the next slide. So this is just cycling through some of the blanks. I have never seen so many blanks in one place at the same time. Now, the condition of them is interesting because now I don't know if you can see. Oh, we'll just jump back here to the camera only. I don't know if you can see the concentric circles on that blank that I'm holding up there. Hopefully you can. And concentric circles there. Now, those, I will just, full disclosure here, we're going to wash these blanks in warm soapy water before we photograph them and sell them because they have grease and residue on them, and it's mostly in a concentric ring. You can kind of see it on that one. See it better on there. Now, yeah, so that's an interesting thing that Peter Andrews has just brought up there. So all of them, Peter, are rimmed apart from the 1-cent pieces. Okay, so all of them are rimmed apart from the 1-cent pieces. And the 50-cent pieces. Every last Every last one of them is rimmed, and they've got these interesting greasy witness marks on them, which makes me think that they have come out of the upsetting mill. And those of you who are not sure what an upsetting mill is, an upsetting mill takes an unrimmed blank, like this 1 cent piece here, and rolls it, retains it between two dies like this, and rolls it and squishes. Yes, that's exactly right, Peter. The ones with the rings are already rimmed. It actually retains it and rolls it like this and squishes it between two dies and forms a raised rim around the outside of the blank. So that's known as a type 2 blank, compared with the 1 cent pieces, which aren't rimmed. They're type 1 blanks. Now, in the actual coin production process itself, as these are being upset, you can imagine that they probably get some grime on them as they run through the upsetting mill. They're actually lubricated, so they run through that process properly, and then they would almost certainly be washed before they're struck. So I suspect, or we suspect, Catherine and I spoke about this last night, we suspect that these have come out of an upsetting mill and they have not been washed, which is why they've all got these greasy witness marks on them, which you don't usually see on other blanks that are out there. So very interesting find, and a pretty cool purchase. So those of you who aren't aware, the reason why they rim the blanks is that it means when the coin is struck, they don't require as much striking pressure to form the high rim around the edge of the coin. And of course the high rim is put there to protect the surface of the coin, to stop it from wearing. And often on smaller coins, like 1 cent pieces, they don't bother doing it because they can achieve a high enough striking pressure on the small die. So that's the blanks that came in this week. Of course, 50 cent pieces aren't run through an upsetting mill because they are not round, so it would be a little bit difficult to run them through some dies that way. So yeah, so what are you saying, Peter? It can be seen on Struck 1984 and 1985. What's that, Peter? Is that the greasy witness marks, or perhaps you can just elaborate for us? Anyway, they're interesting because we believe they've come from a different part of the production process than we usually see blanks coming from. So the fact that they've come out of a machine. Now, interestingly, this isn't the first time that I've heard of this happening. There's a guy in America who strikes fantasy pieces, and he bought a press from the US Mint. Oh, okay. So Peter's saying the greasy circular marks are sometimes seen on struck $1 coins from 84 and 85. And you'd imagine, Peter, that's because they've missed that washing process. The coin blanks go through several washing and annealing processes. So washing to remove grease and things like that. They sometimes are also tumbled, so tumbling with some sort of slightly abrasive material to refine the surface texture before they're struck. And annealing is to annealing is a heat treating process, and that's to alter the microstructure of the metal to actually make it softer and make it more easily struck. The trouble with blanks as they're punched and they're rolled and manipulated is they actually work harden. So work hardening is as you move metal around, some metals will actually harden up and be harder to manipulate the more you move them around. So the annealing process helps soften them up. Will cleaning bring the price down? Well, all we'll do with them is clean them in warm soapy water. Okay, we won't do anything abrasive with them. We won't clean the bronze ones. We'll just leave them the way they are. But the greasy ring here, I can pick most of it off with my fingernail. So it is just some sort of crud on the surface. If it doesn't come off, then they will be sold the way they are. We won't do anything drastic with them to try to remove them. So that's our purchase of the week. We've got 3 50 cent 2 50-cent blanks, $3 blanks, and like about 10 or 15 20-cent blanks. I've never seen so many 20-cent blanks in one place. 5-cent blanks, 10-cent blanks, and then a whole bunch of 1-cent blanks. Again, I've never seen so many 1-cent blanks in one place as well. So it's a really good find. Please keep one with a greasy ring for me, says Peter. The mind boggles. All right, Peter, we'll find you an exceptionally greasy ring one for you, and Catherine, I'm sure, will let you know about it. All right. How will we package those for sales? They'll go in safe flips. So those of you who don't know us, we import and sell safe flips. So safe flips are these. We'll just get rid of the so that's a safe flip there. It's a 50mm holder with 2 pockets, and they're made out of PET. It's an archival safe product that is recommended by various museums and organisations. We generally don't sell things in cardboard 2x2s because they're more work. We certainly don't use adhesive 2x2s because they let go and you end up with coins stuck to the inside of them, and the staple 2x2s are just more work, and I don't think they offer any particular advantage over safe flips. I don't think they don't offer. They offer less mechanical protection, so the coin, the mylar screens on 2x2s are very thin. They offer no real protection, and they are often full of cardboard dust and things like that, and you have to staple them, and when you staple them there's dangers of putting scratches on coins, so we steer away from cardboard 2x2s. That being said, it's really just a personal choice for us. We do the same in our own collection. So what price would they be? I don't know. We're not sure how we're going to sell them yet. We're kind of toying with the idea of selling them as a set, because there's a whole set here, at least 2 sets from $1 down to 1 cent, and then the extras would just sell as one, I guess. So I don't know what the prices would be. If you go and look at sold results on eBay, you'll get some idea of what 50-cent and 1 cent blanks go for. There's a few blanks up on eBay at the moment with ridiculous prices on them, so they won't be as much as what people are asking on eBay, I can tell you that. Right. Can't vouch for adhesives. Mine started to break away and coins are falling out or getting stuck on the glue. Yeah, Andrew, so that's why we don't use them. There was a coin dealer here in Adelaide who I won't name, but they had a proof 1879 trade dollar, I think, in an adhesive 2x2, and it had slipped down and stuck to the bottom of the 2x2. So it's a $5,000 coin, and it was stuck to the bottom of the 2x2 for years. Every time I walked past their shop, there was this multi-$1,000 coin stuck to the 2x2. So that's why we've always steered away from them. We used stapled 2x2s for a while and bought flat clinching staplers. Flat clinching staplers automatically squash the staples flat as you staple. And if you don't do that, they're hard to get into coin pages, and they sort of leave a pokey uppy bit that you could scratch other coins on. So yeah. Michael, is email or messaging on here the best way to talk more? Send us Facebook messages, mate. That's usually the easiest way to get hold of us. We don't answer Facebook messages when we try not to answer them when we're open, but what's a waste, Peter? Oh, the trade dollar. Yeah, I know. It disappeared after a few years. I don't know where it went, but yeah, it was well and truly stuck to the inside of the 2x2. Yeah, I thought you might be keen on the 50 cent, Brendan. I saw the MS62 Ram Strike that you posted up this morning. That was lovely. So Brendan is well known as a 50 cent collector. So I think the 50 cents are the ones that we're shortest on. So if we sell them as sets, they'll be the sort of the key of the set. Yeah, I think the 50 cents are the ones that we're shortest on. I think there's only 2. There's only 2 of those, and you can see that the surface of those are a bit mangy, so these almost certainly missed the washing process and the bead blasting process, so, or the tumbling process. So that's it for today. Has anyone else got anything to say? Thank you everyone for participating today. It's good to see a whole pile of comments there. Yeah, it's always good to see. I enjoy doing these, and Catherine is kind enough to give us the time to do it, because it means that she has to look after the shop by herself for a little while. So thanks everyone for taking part. Thanks Peter for your feedback on the rings on the coins. I'm glad that you've confirmed what we thought they were. And thanks everyone else for taking part and asking questions. Keep an eye out on the website over the next few weeks for the blanks. They'll start appearing, I'm sure. We do have a big backlog of stuff that we need to get through. Oh, I just wanted to show you one thing quickly. This was a lovely enamel badge that came in yesterday. So this is a enamel badge for that the 1937 Australasian Medical Congress that was held in Adelaide. 450 delegates, and this is a sectional secretary badge. So you'd imagine that with 450 delegates that there's was only ever 500 of these badges made, and the sectional secretary bar, there was probably less than 50 of those made. So some of these badges are incredibly scarce and incredibly hard to find and not worth very much at all. So if you want to collect a rare thing, and we're not talking 2015 War Heroes rare. We're talking less than 50, probably still existing. Then look at badges, and you can collect something that's genuinely rare for not very much money. All right. Thanks, Rob, that you love our life. Look, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, mate, that you probably wouldn't enjoy. You very much see the edited highlights here, so I'm glad that you're enjoying what we're showing. And thanks everyone else. Thanks Brendan for taking part, mate. It's good to see you here. Thank you again, Peter, for taking part. I always love your feedback, mate. And choo choo to everyone on the gravy train. We'll see you next week. I think the week after, for the Purple Penny Presents competition on the gravy train. So bye everyone.